The resistance is really important if you focus it to the right place. To be resistant for some bacteria or bad thoughts is pretty useful. But to be resistant for the changes all the time can be as limiting as supportive. Our brain is the hardware in our body which runs different programs in different levels and different places. One of the major places in the reptilian part of the brain, which was developed in the early ages of our evolution. We store examples and runs programs here, luckily which are shape our lives even today. For example, we don't have to take care to renew our continuously aging cells, but there are limitings as well, such as the only way I can be successful if I give up everything. Today's topic belongs to those areas. In this reptilian part of our brain, we use programs as fight, fly, feed, and fornicate, next to many more, of course. Those are the basic reactions. You don't have to take care too much because they are run by the system, which actually run the whole show. If you are not conscious enough, these automatic responses may take all control over your life. And maybe because there are many more complex programs here which are working in the same automatic way as the 4Fs. The programs are that we developed in the centuries as a collective human beings, for example, and those are two which were created by you in your lifetime. It would be impossible to quantify them, no matter how hard we would try it. On the other hand, what you think is limiting you from different points of views, it can be one of the most important things in your life. So that's why I use the conditional tenses so many times. For example, how can we pay more attention to those programs? Or, as it's almost worn out expression, conscious to live our lives. I need to bring forward the thought like, less is more. I would like to tell you that we found a complex equation explored by a group of scientists who asked their name to be hidden so far, and now is the time we will debunk it. But it wouldn't be true. The computer metaphor used so many forums is really a great way to make this system understandable. And we can easily understand that we basically live our lives in the world of zeros and ones. If you resist to something, then the simplest way to explain it is first, you don't know the situation, or the second, you know the situation, or the third one, you use the logical part of your brain and try to figure out the situation and the outcome, the possible outcomes of them, which actually leads us back to the first two options, so I will take them further. And here we are again with the conditional tenses. If you are resisting just because you don't know, then you are using your own previous experiences, especially those which has any similarity to the current one. The direction of your first reaction will be the same as your own experiences and those you stored that way. If you find a snake at the end of the garden, but you don't recognize the specimen, then based on your previous experiences, you will scream yourself to death and jump, or find the first object and hit really hard that poor animal, or you will freeze. If you are resisting and you do know the situation, then your automatic system responds and it will step in. You will reject the whole situation actually, and you want to escape. If one of your closest relationship doesn't change a thing in the last 10 years, but drag the I'm sorry card all the time he or she hurts your feeling, you won't believe anymore. What if the same automatic mechanism runs over and over again when you face something unfamiliar? Before shifting a job perhaps, or a new relationship, if you need to change the orbit of your business, or a new orbit in your personal life. What if the only reason you turn down a new proposal because it is unfamiliar or unknown, or because your previous experience was so bad and you don't even want to learn what's in front of you? Or you should resist for something, but you don't. How can you recognize and shift some of those automatic responses? As I was telling you before, the less is more way of thinking will help you here too. You need to practice few things like kindness. Whatever situation you're dealing with, avoid doubting yourself and the resentment you build up from that. Then understanding, and not just the logical part, but the acceptance part too, when you understand the situation without accepting it immediately. To be deliberate. Listen to your inner compass. The more you use it, the shinier it becomes. In those cases, when you face with a bad feelings in a situation, it may want to show you something. Then observing. One of the most important ones, to observe what kind of reactions you have, also what kind of patterns you have. Then perseverance. If you aren't successful for the first time to overcome resistance, understand yourself. You need time, and the amount is unique. You don't want to have other solutions fully integrate into your life. Then clarity. Next to understanding, you need clarity to see the situation as it is. If you're able to practice all those things, you will be able to see more clearly which processes operated by your automated systems and when. But also, you don't have to overdo those things. At least you have always a choice how you react to events in your life, and those will lead you to all kinds of different stages. Be open for those things which will add to your life, and with this, you will be able to add to others' life too. But be resistant with those experiences which would decrease your values. And be open for the new possibilities which will appear accidentally in front of you, but don't judge the book by the cover. We are organizing lots of events, both online and offline too, in the next period in this year. I would like to invite you to be with us. Please visit our websites, Facebook groups too, and I hope you will find something interesting. Thank you. All the best.